Sorry, we've got flying cards here all over the place. So, let's focus in on William Barr, okay? Come on down. Let's see what we see. William Barr, William Barr, William Barr. Okay, well, here he is, plodding along kind of quietly, playing both sides against the middle. What's white is black and what's black is white, and he's very good at sticking his fingers everywhere and interfering. And he's sort of, kind of when I think about him, I see like a slow moving glacier. You know, he kind of hides behind the scenes. He has this moment where he says, you know, dumb stuff in public, especially if he's in hearings and stuff. But for the most part, he plods along rather quietly, doesn't make waves, doesn't draw attention to himself. But he just kind of destroys and flattens everything along his pathway. He's feeling very defensive, protective of himself. He doesn't like what has happened to his reputation and his good name. But he chose it, right? He chose to be the workhorse for Trump. He chose to do all of the dirty deeds for Trump that would help and benefit Trump. And that's exactly what he's doing. He literally takes his orders from Trump. There's very little independence, and there's very little that he won't do, right? Trump says jump, and he literally asks, how high, sir? Okay, so that's where he is. He's gotten himself in a bit of a pickle, and he now realizes on some levels that the whole situation is spinning out of control, right? The whole situation at the White House is not good, and that it's going to bring him down. And, you know, it's interesting because, yeah, the truth is going to get him in the end. And the Southern District of New York is actually, I think, possibly going to play a role in exposing some of Barr's behaviors, that they're going to be very careful about it. They're going to be very, very mindful of sort of who they are taking on. So one of the questions I have, and I don't have an answer for it, is just because the Southern District of New York chose to not charge anyone else in the whole hush payment situation, does that mean that it's just over? Or is it very possible that, I don't know, maybe like January 25th of 2021, they could reactivate that case, reopen that case, and cause, charges and that kind of thing to go forward. I don't know if by then the statute of limitations would have run out, but you'd think kind of not, because it's not that far down the road. I don't know. If any of you people know the answer, I would be curious to hear it. William Barr has just made a deal where he shouldn't have, right? I mean, he's kind of in there with dark money. There was motivation for him sort of reaching out the way he did to kind of draw attention to himself, so the president and those around him would kind of focus on him. He wanted that job. He had his own motives, and you know, he had his own reasons for wanting that job, and part of it was he was literally trying to reclaim coughing. He was trying to reclaim sort of some of his golden years from the past when he held that position before. Part of it is he actually has an attitude about the president and the president's powers. So there's that. I mean, literally in some way, he felt that, you know, Trump was literally being picked on, and he felt that if he was in that job, he would have the power to ensure that the president had, the golden boy, had the authority and the space to act as the president of the United States. But he also had his own private personal readings, whether there were things that he was trying to take care of from the past, or whether there were things he was trying to solidify going forward. He made his deal, and he's now got to try to figure out, I don't know, how to live with his deal, I suppose. Yeah, you know, eventually things surface. Eventually things come out. There is going to be a lot of questions asked, and some of them rather pointed, about exactly how much he interfered with the Southern District of New York with regards to the hush money payments. And how was it that nobody else was charged? And you'll notice he is being kind of really quiet, boy. He's not saying nothing these days. But make no mistake, he absolutely was instrumental in manipulating that situation. And, you know, honestly, in some ways, that's really frightening, because for those of us who, you know, sort of only got involved in paying attention to a lot of this stuff after Trump was elected, or during the tail part of his election, for a long time now, we've been hearing that statement, you know, the sovereign district of New York. And if Barr was able to interfere and stick his fingers in there and influence decisions about who or should not be charged, or whether there should be more charges, that's concerning. Like, really, that's concerning on a bunch of levels. But rest assured, the secrets are going to come out, and powerful people are going to be investigating. They're going to be looking at that. They're going to be talking about it. And again, right now, in some ways, there isn't a lot they can do, but they will, because he's going to leave in dishonor and disappointment. And again, there's where I'm actually getting concerned. I mean, I had another... Youch. Okay. There definitely are concerns about his health. He is not sleeping well. His emotions are becoming erratic. I'm talking about Barr here. He's not sleeping well. There is definitely a sense or a feeling that he's going to get brought down, just taken out. He's going to be leaving with disappointment and embarrassment, and he's going to be humiliated by the time he leaves office. Because I correct that. If he is not in that position when he leaves office, he will be shortly thereafter. So I'm actually starting to wonder if Barr may not end up being not in the position of Attorney General until Trump finishes his term. I'm wondering actually if there might be some medical reasons or health concerns that would cause him to have to leave office early. And make no mistake, if that happens, it's going to be serious enough that he is prepared and he understands that secrets that he worked very hard to keep secret are going to come out. Again, Possibly not. You know what? And it's that same situation. You know, it's that careful what you wish for, because people thought Sessions was bad and they wanted somebody new. And then you got, I don't know, that bald guy, whatever his name was, I can't remember. And that wasn't looking any better. And now you've got Barr, who is so corrupt, it's like you can't even keep track of what he's doing or why he's doing it or where he's interfering, but he's definitely interfering. And he's interfering on behalf of Donald Trump's wishes. It is no longer about the law with him. He's doing it because Trump tells him to. And, you know, he's not going to be in good shape going forward. There's definitely going to be some problems. There's... I'm seeing absolute distress. I am seeing emotional issues. So whether he is really stressed out, whether he's becoming really anxious, whether his focus is being affected, but there are definitely health concerns, and they're multiplying because of the deal he made with the Trumps and the things that he has now done to aid them. And unfortunately to, you know, protect them. And he doesn't understand, like many before him have not understood, that helping the Trumps, all of them, that family, doesn't win you any bonus points long term. You could be celebrated as the hero today and be fired or maligned by tweet tomorrow. That's how they play. There is no loyalty. So whatever he has given up, he has given up for really no long-term reward. Yep, he definitely probably got something, probably connected to money. He was trying to restore his reputation. He managed to do that. But ultimately, when it comes right down to it, he still leaves in disgrace. And there's no loyalty coming from the Trumps. He's going to be out in the cold. He can juggle all he wants. He can bounce those balls around. It comes right down to it, he's out. He doesn't have, you know, Trump DNA. It doesn't count. He made his deal. Judgment's coming upon him. He is not going to be able to get out of this water, because that turbulent water, he's not going to quietly be able to slip away. So at this point, we're pretty sure that he has interfered with the Southern District of New York's investigations into hush money. We are aware of the fact that he is attempting to, and in some cases flat out, interfere with the Mueller testimony. I mean, he's made this big deal about, oh, you know, if Mueller doesn't want to, he doesn't have to. And now he has told people who were part of Mueller's team in doing investigations, if they are still part of the Justice Department, he has made it very clear that they should not be testifying. There have been a couple, I believe it's a couple of investigators who worked with Mueller who are no longer part of the Justice Department, and as I understand it, they have been giving closed-door testimony to whatever committee. So, but he's definitely able to sort of interfere. Now, question becomes, I wonder, as all this stuff continues to come out about Epstein, whether he's actually going to interfere with that. And I guess, I mean, the logical answer is, you know, nope, he's going to stay out of it, because the more attention that is drawn to the Trump-Epstein connection, the worse it gets for Trump. It feels as if the only time that he would actually step in is if something came out or was about to come out that was really, really horrendous about Trump in regards to the relationship he had with either Jeffrey Epstein or George Nader, who has also is in a pot full of boiling water when it comes to child pornography, human trafficking. This whole situation pertaining to sex crimes, sexual abuse, rape, child trafficking, child pornography, that whole bubbling cauldron of yuck is not, we have not even scratched the icing off the cupcake here, okay? There is so much that's underneath what we can see now. People are going to be defending themselves all over the place, but justice is coming. And lives literally are going to collapse, and people are going to be put in a position where in many ways they are not actually going to be able to recover. So for now, I sort of see Barr keeping his distance from the Southern District of New York's investigation into Epstein. He is going to continue to subtly try to manipulate Mueller. It definitely appears as if he's for sure intervened and interfered with additional charges and the continuing investigation in terms of the hush money payments. So he's definitely, he's playing the role he was hired to play. And that's unfortunate for him, because when it's all said and done, he's going to be remembered as a mercenary. He's going to be remembered as that man who would do anything for money. Or for, for money. It's as simple as that. Possessions. So, I think for now, again, more defensive, thinks he's going to win, he's not going to win. He can manipulate words and deeds as much as he wants, but it's just not going to work for him. So, there we have it. There's a little bit of an update on William Barr. Don't think he's doing well health-wise. I think emotions, stress, anxiety, that kind of thing is definitely a problem. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a little bit of an issue with heart palpitations, chest pains, migraines, head issues. But he doesn't appear to be doing particularly well right now. But it's almost a worry as to who could possibly be worse, that Trump would dig out of the can of worms and dig under the dirt and see who he could find, who he could actually manipulate even more than Barr. Somebody who would sell an even bigger portion of their soul on the altar of Trump. I don't have an answer right now, but it's definitely a concern. It's like, you get rid of him, but who do you end up with? So, make no mistake, William Barr is going to, at the end of this experience, he's going to be shattered, taken down, and ruined, and I'm not sure if his health situation is even going to be something he can recover from. Another just quick word on the Mueller thing. As I look at his testimony, I really believe he honestly is going to stay within the four corners of that report. But since 95+% of people have not read the Mueller report, I being in the 5%, I worked my way through that book. It is a dry read. It's interesting, but it really, you got to be really dedicated to get through that thing. So the most important thing, honestly, that Mueller can do is not drop some big, huge bombshell, but simply in a public format like public hearings is just actually explain what's in the report. Because most people only know a little of this and a little of that because that's what they've heard on television. They haven't heard sort of with clarity or with fullness what is in the report. So I think that's what that testimony is going to look like. And despite the fact that the information has in fact been publicly available for months, it hasn't been consumed publicly. And so it's going to be really interesting to see how the public reacts in the days after that testimony. So thank you very much for liking and subscribing. Your comments are wonderful. If you are looking for a personal reading, I am booking within the first 2 weeks of August right now. So those dates are right around the corner and there is availability. Look in the little box. If that's something that would interest you, there's some additional information in there. So for now, take care, be well, and we'll see you really soon. Bye.